Welcome back to my channel. Today it's time for a Q&A. I haven't done one of those in a while, and I'm doing a non-themed one. You guys were super fast at asking questions. It took you a couple hours to get to 30, which is usually like the limit for the videos to not become crazy long. And there are some questions in here that I've answered in previous Q&A videos, but you know what? I'm gonna answer all of them anyway, because I love you guys. But I do have a Q&A playlist for previous videos, so if you want to know more about me, I suggest you go check that out. First out are the questions on Instagram, and Pretty Addicted, the awesome band who I do implore you to go check out if you haven't done that already. They were the first ones to ask. They said, what do you think of Vero and other social media, and in general how we're being monitored and programmed to see only certain things or think certain things because of algorithms and ads and the way the internet runs for us all individually and as a whole? Yeah, the algorithms or whatever, they're annoying, they are, but for me, leaving Instagram or leaving Facebook, it's not something that I would ever even consider, because Facebook for me is the main channel for communicating with my friends. And I'm talking about my private, personal Facebook page now, where I only have my actual physical friends. It's just such a fantastic way to keep track of everyone and to invite everyone to stuff and find concerts and things like that. So yeah, the algorithm is fucked up and nothing is in the right order and you see things a couple of days too late. It's really annoying, it really is, but it's still not annoying enough for me to even consider giving it up. And Instagram, I still freaking love Instagram. Like, the only thing that really bothers me about Instagram is the fact that when I look at it on my phone and the phone goes black because I don't touch it for a couple of seconds, it kind of scrolls back up to the top. So if I'd been scrolling for a while, then it's like, ugh, I have to go back down to where I was again, and I just kind of leave it alone. That's really annoying. I don't really mind the ads, they're easy to scroll by, and I don't know, the algorithm doesn't bother me as much on Instagram as it does on Facebook, so I'm actually okay with it. I haven't tried Vero, I'm not really interested in trying any more social media channels at the moment. If things get a lot worse than they are right now on the existing channels that I have, I don't know, I might consider it, but at the moment, it just doesn't feel that way to me. And obviously it's annoying that we're being monitored and stuff. Like, yeah, that's annoying, but that's how it's been from day one. Big Brother is always watching, and I don't think that Vero and other new options are going to be any different than a couple of years. Like, they start out being like, oh, we're going to be free and it's going to be ad free and blah blah blah, and everyone's like, yay, and they're going to run to that. And then the people of Vero are going to realize that they need to make some money too, and then it's just going to be like a repetition all over again, because Instagram and Facebook started out that way too. That's just, yeah, so it's all gonna take that same path. That's what I feel like. So I'm gonna stick to the channels that I have because I still like them. The thing that annoys me the most about Facebook and Instagram are the stupid fucking rules and the asshats who maintain them. Like, a woman is not allowed to post a sexy photo of herself, but you allow, like, violence and pornography and stuff. But if it's voluntary, gasp! I can't tell you how many accounts I followed that have been blocked because people are offended because they saw, like, an ass cheek or a nipple or whatever it may be. Just, ugh, don't follow that account if you don't like that kind of stuff. You don't need to report people for it. The second question... Oh, and sorry if I mispronounce any names, by the way. The second question is from Kinda Lucinda. If you were a fictional character, what would your catchphrase be? Do you have any favorite catchphrases already? It would probably be a curse. I fucking love cursing. So it would be, yeah, probably something like an insult with a nice curse in there, like fuck off or whatever. Did you guys know that fuck off was my favorite thing to say when I was a kid? My parents thought it was hilarious. So maybe that stuck with me and I'm gonna be like the fuck off queen. I don't say it that often now, but anything with fuck in it, it's just fun. If I have any favorite catchphrases, I can't think of any right now. Lols says, oh, this is a Swedish question, let me translate. What are your favorite online shops for buying alternative clothing? There are a bunch of great ones. I really enjoy Queen of Darkness, for instance. I like the Gothic shop. I haven't bought anything from them or from any other shop like this for a while. Because I haven't really had the money to. But yeah, I like Doll's Kill, but to buy from something in the US and ship it to Sweden just becomes really expensive, so I've only done that once. So at the moment, I'm kind of annoyed that we don't have Hot Topic in Sweden, because Hot Topic seems to have a lot of great stuff. At least at the moment. I've recently started following them on Instagram, and I keep seeing stuff every single day that makes me want to just buy everything they have. And the online shop is fantastic. But again, it's in the US, so to ship to Sweden, it will cost a small fortune, which again wouldn't make it worth it. Ugh, so annoying. Obviously, it depends on what style you have. Other fun online shops include Cyberdog. You have Pandora Deluxe if you like latex items. Punk Rave is always fun. Kate's Clothing is always fun. Basically anything from Iron Fist is fantastic. Here in Sweden, I buy from a shop called Ad9, which has that brand, for instance. There's also a shop called EMP, which I'm sure most of you know about. I think that's a European site. So yeah, there are a bunch of stuff out there. Fem Galaxy says, do you like anime? If so, which do you enjoy? I don't really watch anime. I haven't really gotten into it, so I don't really have much to say about it. So sorry to all my anime-loving followers, but I just never got into it. Head Up Heartstrong says, what's your next tattoo? I don't know what my next one is going to be. I always have like 3 or 4 in the pipeline, but I really want to finish my hand. Buff Conkers has done everything on my hands except for the little skull in the middle here. And when he did the fingers before Christmas, he was supposed to finish this hand as well, but there was not enough time. And then he came back here into Sweden in February, but I didn't have the money to get tattooed, so I had to cancel that. So I guess the next time I see him, he's gonna do that. But then I have other plans, like I'm gonna do obviously a tank girl tattoo and a bunch of other fun stuff, but I don't know in which order I'm gonna get to do them. Weird Raccoon says, how are your cheek piercing dimples going? I took my cheek piercings out years ago. I still have the dimples. How they're going? Like they healed years ago, so there's not much to go, but yeah, they're still there. They're not going anywhere. Izzy has 2 questions. How far do you want to expand your earlobes, and what is the best present you ever received from Mr. Tez? I'm not currently planning on stretching my lobes any further. I'm at 30 millimeters right now, and I like this size. I don't know if I want to go up anymore at the moment. I'm happy with this size, but you never know with me. I change my mind a lot, so if that changes, I'll let you guys know. And the best present I ever received from Mr. Tez, he gets me a lot of stuff, but I gotta say, my bass, my electric bass, is such a fantastic present, and I love it so much. So yeah, that's probably gotta be my favorite gift he ever gave me, and that was this Christmas, so. Sophie Mikala says, I loved your tank girl cosplay you did a while back, and I was wondering if you have any plans to cosplay in the future. I'm probably gonna do tank girl again next time I go to Comic-Con, which is gonna be later this year. I freaking love tank girl, and I can understand how some people think it's boring to cosplay as the same character every time, but I don't really care because she is my favorite character and I relate to her a lot. So it's an easy choice for me, but we'll see. There are a lot of other fun characters. Doxed says, are you planning more tattoos or body mods? If so, what? Also, what do you like to do in your spare time? Yeah, so I already answered the tattoo question, and no other body modifications planned at the moment. And my spare time, I like watching movies, specifically horror movies or superhero movies. I like playing my bass. I like going to punk gigs. I like playing Nintendo and other geeky games. I love watching RuPaul's Drag Race, for instance. I like American Horror Story. I love reading comics. I like hanging out with my friends. I like drinking beer. I like drinking wine. I like shopping and playing around with makeup, playing around with my dog, hanging out with my husband. Just any kind of stuff that's fun, I like doing. Space Platypus, my friend, says, what would your dream hair look like? Like if you could, by magic, get as much or as little hair in an instant in any color of your choice. My hair is very, very thin, and it means that I'm limited to what I can do with it. Like when it was long, way back when I still enjoyed having long hair and no undercut, I tried like curling it and stuff, but it's just nothing sticks to this hair. The only thing I can do with it that actually works is have it in different versions of short hair. So I think what I would do if I could try it the magic way is to ask for a huge mane of like awesome hair and just do a massive mohawk. That would be fucking fantastic. But I'm still gonna do the mohawk. That's why I'm saving my hair out. But it's gonna be my mohawk, like with my regular hair, obviously. Kay Lyra says, would you ever wear dreads again? And are you going to get Gaston another friend, or is he the one and only? I have no plans on getting dreads again. I feel like that part of my life is kind of over, if that makes sense. You never know, but I've gone back completely to my punk persona, and for me, that kind of doesn't include dreads. I've never really liked having long hair. It's not really me. It's never really felt like me, so it was more kind of having fun with it for a couple of years, so I don't miss it at all. And also, it fucking ruined my scalp. I have several bald spots from those fucking dreads, so I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna braid them in again. I just love having short hair, so it's all good. And we don't have any plans to get a second dog at the moment, but we haven't counted it out. If we do, we'll probably wait a couple years, and we need to find a dog that matches his personality, because Gaston is a little bit tricky when it comes to other dogs. He loves people, like he goes crazy whenever we have people over, but other dogs, he doesn't know how to behave around other dogs. So we need to find somebody who matches like his personality, and that takes a little bit of work, I think. Miss Shella489 says, do you wish that you still had your cheek piercings? I remember how devastated you were when you had to retire them. Listen, I was not devastated. I was so happy to get rid of those fuckers. Like, when I recorded the video, during the actual pulling them out of my face, it felt like a defeat. Sure, because they never fucking healed, which is why I took them out. But the second they were out, oh, I was so happy to be rid of them. So I was not devastated at all. I was really happy. I don't miss them one bit. If I was guaranteed by a piercer that they could get me a set of cheek piercings that would actually heal without any issue, I still wouldn't get it. Because the reason I got them was to get the dimples, and I have the dimples. So there's really no point for me to get the cheeks re-pierced. That's just, they were so in the way the entire time. It's not my favorite piercing at all, so I'm just happy to be rid of them. The Peculiar Curio says, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to build a business? I know networking is important, but I'm looking for other ways. For me, the main thing has been, well, not necessarily the word networking, but like connections, knowing what people to turn to and who can benefit from working with you and stuff like that. But it's obviously also a matter of providing people with a product that they actually want and are willing to pay for. Marketing is so important. I have been in the PR and communications industry for years, so for me that comes natural. But if you're new at this stuff, I recommend taking a class, like a business class on marketing, because it's just, it makes it a lot easier. And confidence is always key. Obviously, you have to believe in your product and your business idea. It's a good idea to have a mentor, somebody you can turn to for questions. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who knows exactly everything about your product, but maybe who knows the industry or in some way is able to help you out. It's gonna go like this. It's a bumpy ride being a business owner. It really is. You can conduct small surveys to check the interest of your product. Look at similar products as the one that you're offering, what people are paying for it, in what shapes and forms it exists now. Is there something you can do to tweak it to make it stand out a little bit more? Like, you want to be unique and interesting, but not scary, if that makes sense. Like, people want to know what it is you're offering, but they want to know that you're willing to go the extra mile. And just, yeah, branding and being able to speak for yourself is always good. So marketing and branding, those are keys. Canimar Eagle says, what was the first concert you went to and which one was your favorite? The first concert I ever went to was a John Fogerty concert. If you don't know who John Fogerty is, I suggest that you YouTube his name. He is the lead singer and guitarist of Creedence Clearwater Revival, which is a classic rock band from back in the day. They make some awesome songs, and he's had his own solo career and stuff too. He's a fantastic guitarist, and I really enjoyed that show. I think I was 11 or something. My favorite concert I've ever been to, that's difficult. Let's look at it like this. Like, the best times I've ever had at concerts have been when it's like multi-concerts, either festivals or just like mini festivals or gigs with more than one band where you get to see more than one thing. And in Stockholm, that happens a lot, actually. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that quite often, which I'm really thankful for. I think one of the ones that, I had so much fun was one of my favorite Swedish bands, if not my favorite Swedish band, which is punk band Mimikry, were playing. And there were a bunch of other punk bands playing, and they were all like mixing it up on stage, and it was just, I was there with my best friends. It was so much fun. So I think that was my best gig ever. Crystal Moon says, would you ever grow your hair long again? Which one of your tattoos hurts the most? I have zero interest in growing my hair long again. It's just not what I like. I enjoy being bare like this. Just I'd rather have a fully shaved head than to have long hair. I freaking hate having long hair. Whenever I had the dreads, I always had them up. I would never have them down because I just don't like the being covered. Just no, not my thing. So I will not be growing my hair long. And the tattoo that hurt the most in full experience, I would say my thigh tattoo, because that fucker took 8 hours. But pain-wise, that was more because it took so long, not that the level of pain was that high. The highest level of pain was doing these mini little finger dots at the tip of my finger. Those hurt like a motherfucker, but those only took a couple of minutes. So it's all relative. That was all the questions on Instagram. Let's move on to Facebook. Dominic Spreek has 3 questions. The first question is, how do you train your dog? Well, when he was a puppy, we took him to a puppy class, which is what they recommend when you get a puppy here in Sweden. And they helped us with their methods on how to train him. And then we did some stuff at home following that method. So it's all about making it fun so that the dog wants to learn. And there are different tricks and you adapt to each dog, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I recommend taking a puppy class or a dog class. It doesn't have to be a puppy, but yeah. So you can get some help with what works for your dog. The second question is, how did you establish your business? I've already touched on this. And again, it's all about marketing, branding, and just getting your name out there and not being afraid to pick up the phone and call and like introduce yourself and stuff like that. Question number 3 from Dominique is, I noticed that when it comes to hair dye, you tend to stick with directions. Any particular reason? The main reason is because I have every single color of directions in my possession because I was sponsored in the past by a shop here in Stockholm called Blue Fox. They gave me one of each, and yeah, that's I don't have to buy any hair dye if I use directions. That's one of the reasons, but also since I change my hair color so often, I need a color that is not permanent and that washes out fast. And directions is absolutely that. It's not the best in that way that it's long lasting at all. It washes out fast, the red becomes pink fast and stuff. So if you have a lot of hair and you want one color and you want it for a long time, then no, Directions is not the best brand. At least that's not what I think. But if you want to change it up a lot and you want to be able to mix your own colors easily and you want something that's cruelty free and cheap, then yeah, Directions is fantastic. So that's why I use it all the time. Renee Williams says, what's your favorite YouTube video you ever uploaded and why? Ooh, that's one of my own favorite videos. That's hard. I do watch my own videos sometimes to go back and look at when I did like hair updates and stuff, and I look back at my lookbooks and stuff for inspiration. I really like my DIYs as well. Obviously, I like my own stuff or I wouldn't publish it. But to pick one favorite video, I mean, I really laugh at my blooper reel videos. I should do more of those. I'm gonna go with one of my lookbooks. I can't think of a specific one right now, but I enjoy those. They're fun and easy to look at, so let's pick one of those. Emmy Lake says, will you ever go to VGT again? I would like to, but I just don't really have the money at the moment. If I go there, I would want to shop like a crazy person, like the way that I've done the 2 times I've been there before. And I can't afford that right now. So this year, I will not go. Next year, who knows? I love that festival and I love the city of Leipzig. It's fantastic, but yeah, we'll see. Ari Lilith Bell says, do you have any favorite makeup gurus on YouTube? Off the top of my head, I'm going to say Lucy Garland. She does a lot of fun stuff. She's creative. She does a lot of drag queen looks. So yeah, I really like her. She doesn't necessarily do looks that are specific for my aesthetic or whatever, but she's just a lot of fun to watch. Becca Peacock has a couple of questions. Number 1 is, who are your favorite female comic book characters? Obviously, Tank Girl is my favorite comic book character. I also really like Niami, you know, the metalhead. She's fantastic. Who has been your biggest inspiration in your life? See, that's hard because I find inspiration from a lot of different places. There's no like one person who's been an influence. Is it weird to say myself? Because all of the strength and confidence in the person that I am today, it's come from me. That's not because I've seen other people and I've been like, oh, I want to be there. I've never really been like that. Like comparing myself to others. It's more about finding ways to do my thing for me, if that makes sense. I don't know. Is it weird to like pat yourself on the shoulder and be like, oh yeah, I'm my biggest fan? And her last question is, what are your top 5 favorite movies? My favorite movie of all time is The Fifth Element, as I'm sure you guys know. I'm just gonna pick like random movies that I really fucking love. Another one of my favorite movies is Martyrs, the French original, not the American remake, which is a fantastic, really creepy French horror movie. I also fucking really love Deadpool. That's one of my favorite movies. I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. And the 5th one, let's go with Donnie Darko. That's just a fantastic movie. Karis Davidson says, what's your favorite book? My favorite book is the Swedish original version of Let the Right One In. The fantastic small town vampire story. I love it so much. And it's way, way, way more disturbing than the movie. Holy shit. Jenny Ikeheimo says, would you visit Finland someday or do a little meeting with us fans? I've been to Finland a couple times, but only by going there on one of those big cruise ships. So yeah, a meetup could be fun to do. I've never actually been in Finland longer than like half a day. I've never stayed at a hotel or slept over or anything like that. You get to be off the boat for a couple of hours before you have to head back, so that's as long as I've been to Finland. Maybe that doesn't really count. Manu Roytiller says, are the dreads coming back when your hair is longer? And again, no dreads. I'm done with dreads. Lucia Isabel Roos says, are you having fun with your bass guitar and do you want to share your sound on your YouTube channel? I'm having a lot of fun with it and I'll share it when there's something to share. At the moment, I'm just literally just having fun with it. That was the last question. I hope I got everyone. I'm sorry if I forgot one, but yeah, that was it. Thank you guys so much for asking these questions. You guys are always awesome. I love you. Mwah. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Comment, subscribe, like, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time. Bye.